Hello. It's time to Nefes and chill. I have a gun pointed at my head. By Elias.
Don't you move a step, boy.
And he wants me to explain how these two sets work. Turning Tide and Nazare.
I just can't figure it out.
Okay. And a lot of people keep asking me about these sets and how they work, so here's the video that explains how they work. So, we'll see Turning Tide here real quick. So Turning Tide, this tooltip says, as I flee from this Kaguni, when you block, you gain flowing water for 10 seconds, causing your next bash attack to deal X amount of magic damage to up to 6 enemies in the 5 by 10 meter line. And that's a pretty huge line. And apply major vulnerability for 10 seconds, yada yada yada. This effect can occur once every 15 seconds and scales off your max health. Obviously, super useful set that you can hear me ramble more about in the raid composition video I did for update 33. But basically, how it actually works is you have to successfully block an attack, so you can't just block air and expect it to proc. So right now I'm not getting hit, and it's not procking. But if I get hit by a direct damage attack, or an attack that has a direct damage component, like a heavy attack, or a AoE Kono attack that has a direct damage component, as you'll see here pretty soon, it should proc. So this would proc it, if it hadn't gone on cooldown. What doesn't proc it, however, are damage over time ground effects that I've tested, at least with the bold niches over there. I'm going to also assume that regular dots also don't work, because unless they do have a direct damage component, maybe the initial hit might work. But yeah, as you can see, that was an AoE, and it still works, as long as it has a direct damage component. Alright, so now that we have this, I'm going to go straight into here. And that was Nazare. I'm pretty sure it didn't hit the boss. But if it did, it doesn't really matter, because you can't apply Nazare's ultimate extension on a target that does not have the major vulnerability or any debuff that you might use on it. So for example, if I have Nazare and I cast Colossus onto this Kaguni, the major vulnerability from Colossus actually will not be extended by Nazare, because it need to have already been on the monster or boss before I cast an ultimate, whether that ultimate does include a major or minor debuff or not. And so that's pretty much it. And you have to take into account, which a lot of people aren't for their raids or dungeon groups, is that it is based on proximity to yourself, not proximity to another person. So if I was far away from this Kaguni, 12 or 13 meters away, Nazare would not work, or would not extend any major debuff or minor debuff on it. That's pretty much it. That's how these two sets work, in separate from each other, in conjunction with one another. What do you think? Do you guys think I missed anything? Or do you have more questions about? Can I go? No? Elias?
No, I have no more questions.
You have no more questions? Okay, now can you let me go?
I completely understand how this set works now. Thank you.
Can I leave the basement?
A few more weeks.
Oh,
Are we allowed
okay.
to feed him at least?
Wait, I get food?